Collecting information about children when they start at a new early years provision is pretty standard. Most settings have a registration format. They may have a meeting with the parents when children start at a daycare provision, and then the information gathered, whether that's with the daycare manager or a key worker, is shared with other staff. The challenge comes in how you keep and manage up-to-date information on the children. Because, think about it, if a child starts with you when they're 3 months old, by the time they're 6, 9, 12, 18 months, so much has changed in that child's life. Just between 3 and 6 months, their time on earth has doubled. So the kinds of needs that children may have when they enroll with you could be very different just a few months later. And at any time, a parent could identify an allergy, could have an appointment with a doctor and have information. Sometimes parents know and understand the importance of sharing this with a childcare setting. Sometimes they keep the information to themselves and don't share properly, and that might be because they're embarrassed about the condition that's been discovered. It might be that they don't think it's relevant, that they can manage it at home and they don't need to involve the daycare staff, or they might just be very busy and forget or not think it's important. Another thing that can often happen is a parent might just give new information to a early years practitioner on what I call a doorstep drop-off and just give some new and very important information, and the person receiving that information may not understand the gravity or why it's important, or may not even understand what they've been told. For example, in my career, I've had a situation where a child was dropped off. There was a supply cover person working in the room. There was 5 regular practitioners, and one of those practitioners was cover, wasn't usually in that classroom, and had opened the door to a parent, and the parent said, "Oh, we were at the doctor's yesterday, and so it turns out that milk products are not good for him, and they think he has an allergy to milk products, so he should stay off of milk products." And the person on the door didn't understand this is new information, this is something that must be shared with the team, this is something that must be recorded, and said, thank you, shut the door, brought the child in, and gave them their glass of milk with their fruit in the morning. So you need to have protocols that the parents are aware of and that the parents understand, but also the staff. So what happens if a staff member is given some ad hoc information about an allergy or about another medical issue, or even something else that's not related? How do you make sure that's captured? You need a protocol to make sure that the parents understand what they need to do. Do you have an update form, for example? So rather than taking the information verbally, which could get lost in translation, someone could write down the wrong information, not clearly enough what they've said. Do you have an update form? So if something changes between when they did their initial registration and now, can the parents fill in an update form just to update any information, so you have that in written and clear format? How often do you retake registration information? I recommend that you do that annually. So every year on a certain date, be that January or be that August, September, all of your families complete a new registration form or a child profile form with all the information that's relevant for their child. You can obviously collect that electronically. You could use a Google form to collect that information, or you may have a system that you use, a management information system that parents can log on to and fill in those forms, or it might be a paper form. However you do it, I would recommend on an annual basis that you collect information from scratch, and that you have proper protocols in place for updating information during the year. And if information is given to a member of staff on the doorstep, staff know and understand what they should do with that information. Is there somewhere that they can record an update? Does the child have a care plan? For example, in my setting, every child has a care plan. Every child. And it could be simple things on there, like who is authorised to pick them up, who's in their immediate family, how they like to sleep, food preferences. And that care plan is updated during the year with any new information we get. As things change, that care plan is updated. So who is responsible for that? Who does that? Is it the team lead? Is it the key worker? And how is that information, if a child does develop an allergy, or there is a new piece of information that parents share with you, how is that information then consistently shared across the team so that everybody knows and understands? Keeping up-to-date information on children is a challenge. It's not something that just automatically happens. It's something that you need to think about, and you need to think, what processes and what protocols can we put in place to ensure that we capture changes throughout the year.